Today in Eye on Chicago, when you think about barber shops, you think about haircuts and great conversations. Well, our Joe Donlin recently paid a visit to Coleman Brothers Barber Shop at 68th and Stony Island in Woodlawn. Take a look.
This was more than just a barber shop.
My brother, hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Brothers James and Richard Coleman opened the shop in 1963, and since then, it's welcomed everyone from famous people like Muhammad Ali and Barack Obama to regular guys like Ron, Jerome, and Tommy. They've been coming here since they were kids.
My haircut here, my first haircut, 60 years ago.
Richard and James became like my role model.
As Joe found out, there are lots of stories here, so it's no surprise that the community came out in droves last June to dedicate this street sign honoring the Coleman brothers. And joining me now is Wheeler Coleman. His father and uncle opened the shop in 1963, and he owns it now. That's pretty cool.
It is
welcome
extreme.
Here.
Thank you.
Welcome
you,
here.
Dana.
That doesn't even make sense, but welcome. I'm glad you're here. A lot going on today. I mean, how do you think your shop has survived for 6 decades? And I will say, in the story, in Joe's story, I think you called it sort of like it's a spiritual, setting at times, right? Is that part of why it's survived for all these decades?
So it's embedded in the community, people of the community that really know the folks that are in the community and care for them, legitimately care for them and support them, encourage them, right? And so at the barbershop had folks from all walks of life. And so you can go there and see people like Leon Finney, who was the Leon Ribs, the famous Leon Ribs on the south side of Chicago.
Of course.
So you had businessmen, and then you had the everyday, unknown members, right?
But was everyone treated the same?
Everyone was treated the same, and everyone had an opportunity to learn from other people in the barbershop and interact with other people.
You know, your dad and uncle seem to have had a very good working relationship. How did they help younger people in the community? I mean, some specifics, because my understanding is they had a great impact.
They did, and so upon the death of my dad, I heard a lot of stories about how my father or my uncle helped individuals and helped them change their lives. I had a Chicago policeman one time, a sergeant, that came in and said, "You don't understand how helpful your dad was when I was little." He said, "My dad wasn't around, but your father was my surrogate father. Your father gave me money. Your father cut my hair free. Your father sent me off when I went to college with money in my pocket. Your dad helped influence my life. And I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for your father."
Let's speak about you and where you are today. I mean, why did you sort of decide to carry on the family legacy?
Well, so think about this for a second. There's my dad and my uncle had 10 kids between the two of them. That barbershop was able to send all of us to private school and then able to send all of us on to college. And so the revenue that was generated in that little neighborhood barbershop had a profound impact on families and everybody that we touched. And so today I run a technology firm and made a decision that we're going to give back to the neighborhood that gave to us. And we're going to do it by providing jobs to those that intellectually have the ability to go to college, but didn't go to college or didn't finish
for various
college.
reasons.
And for various reasons that took on a trade, right? And so we're going to help provide jobs to them, and then we're going to help provide services to the people of the community.
It's wonderful. I imagine it's very rewarding.
It is. And then on top of that, the street signing. The symbolism of two brothers from red dirt roads of Alabama.
Is not born here.
Not born here, to come to Chicago for over 5 decades serve a community, right? It represents what was and the possibility of what could come. Yeah. So what does that say? We need more Black-owned businesses in our neighborhoods, right? And we've got to find a way to encourage people to support those Black-owned businesses, whether they patronize them or whether they do business with them.
I love talking to you. Thank you so much, Wheeler Coleman, for being here with me live in our studio this morning. You know, folks, if you want to see Joe's full story on the Coleman Brothers Barber Shop, head to our site at cbschicago.com and search IN Chicago. We will also stream the story in full all day long right here on the stream.